You may consider legendary players like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi the greatest of all time, but you haven't met the OGs before them. These upcoming footballers are retired, but they're still considered the stuff of legends. Before we get on with the top 10 best soccer players ever, retired players, make sure you support us and subscribe to our channel on the bottom right. After that, hit the bell button below and we are good to go. Number 10. George Best. First up, we have one of the greatest but most underrated soccer players of all time, George Best. Best was a winger and attacking midfielder. He's most famous for his unparalleled dribbling abilities, which won him the 1968 Euro Cup, 2 league titles, and let him score 250 staggering goals in 579 games. The reason why Best never amounted to being a force in international football is because Northern Ireland itself didn't have that much impact on the scene. So Best's playing style, feints, two-footedness, and uncanny ability to get past defenders never received the due credit he deserved. The descent into alcohol abuse and squandering his money didn't help either. Number 9. Zinedine Zidane. Next up is France's legendary Zinedine Zidane, who was famous for basically turning up his football powers to 100% during the most decisive games. As a central midfielder, his impressive accomplishments are his 159 goals in 789 games, the 1998 World Cup, and the 2000 European Championships he has under his belt. The fact that he was named FIFA World Player of the Year in all of 1998, 2000, and 2003 also cement his spot as one of the greats. To add to that, Zidane is one of 8 players in history to win the FIFA World Cup, the UEFA Champions League, and the Ballon d'Or. But boy, if you thought this was impressive, then check out our upcoming players. Our number 1 can probably single-handedly take down all of these. Please don't forget to like this video and give us a thumbs up. Number 8. Alfredo Di Stefano. Alright, so the first forward in this video absolutely had to be none other than the iconic Alfredo Di Stefano, who was an all-around fantastic player. He tackled, passed, and dictated the entire play like no one else in history. He was so talented that he was given the nickname of Seixa Rubia, which means blonde arrow, for his powerful skills of tactical versatility, vision, creativity, and the fact that he could match with anyone, anywhere on the pitch. Stefano remarkably won 5 European Cups and 13 league titles. Number 7. Ferenc Puskas. Imagine being such a legendary player that you get a FIFA award named after you, which goes for the player who scored the most beautiful goal over the past year. If you haven't guessed who this is already, meet Ferenc Puskas, who's arguably the most precise goal scorer of all time. Over his career with Real Madrid and Hungary, he scored 700 goals in 705 games, won 3 European Cups, 5 league titles, then won 5 other league titles, and led Hungary to the 1954 World Cup final. Number 6. Franz Beckenbauer. Coming in at number 6 is Franz Beckenbauer, whose 111 goals in 776 games for Germany and Bayern Munich earned him the nickname of Der Kaiser, which means the Emperor, simply because of the pure power, elegance, and dominance he displayed on the pitch. He was one of the rare players who could dominate the pitch from everywhere. The ultimate captain, he won the 1974 World Cup, the 1972 European Championships, 3 European Cups, and 8 league titles. Number 5. Michel Platini. Sliding in with unbeatable dribbling skills is one of the greatest footballers of all time, France's Michel Platini, who was an attacking midfielder that made it to the history books. This legend scored 353 goals in 652 games, guided France to the 1984 European Championships, won 3 league titles, and came in 7th in the FIFA Players of the Century vote. Number 4. Zico. Just because Zico's list of achievements isn't a mile long, like some of history's acknowledged greatest footballers of all time, doesn't mean he wasn't one of the best, because indisputably, he was. In the 769 games he played, he scored 527 goals. He was one of the most unbelievably talented offensive players ever with his heading ability and free kick. One of his most iconic moments includes the time in the 1981 Intercontinental Cup when he made Liverpool look like fumbling amateurs. Even Pele, who's considered the god of football, said that Zico is the only one who resembles my playing method. If you can get Pele's approval, you've basically achieved the ultimate football goal. Number 3. Johan Cruyff. The Netherlands is credited with coming up with the total footballer who had the control of Zidane and the dribbling mastery that George Best had. In his 710 games, he scored 401 goals as an attacking midfielder. His accomplishments include 3 European Cups and 10 league titles. For our top 2, it's almost impossible to decide who really was the number 1, so we left out the numbering for 1 and 2. Please leave a comment who you think deserves the title of the best soccer player ever. Pele. Always going down in history as the best football player of all time is Brazil's Pele, whose only worthy rival and contender for the title of the greatest is our number 1 top footballer. Here's a look at what makes a legend, well, a legend. Brace yourself for this. As Brazil's all-time leading scorer, in the 1,366 games he played, Pele scored a mind-boggling 1,282 goals. He also led Brazil to win the World Cup in 1958, 1962, and again in 1970. 5 league titles and 2 Copa Libertadores are also among his wins. But what he's also famous for is his rivalry with the other best player in the world, Diego Maradona, which leads us to our final footballer, Diego Maradona. We've reached the end of the line. The only player to top Pele's unpreceded records is Argentina's Diego Maradona, whose dribbling ability was otherworldly. His goal scoring was so iconic that his hand gained the nickname of the Hand of God. Maradona was known as El Pibe de Oro, which means the Golden Boy, because of how insanely talented he was. When he discovered as just a kid, the talent scout thought he lied about his age because he played like an adult. His passing and crossing were remarkably precise, that he just annihilated any competition on the field. Maradona was the first player to set the world record transfer fee twice. He did it once in 1982 when he transferred to Barcelona for €5 million, and in 1984 again when he moved to Napoli for a fee of €6.9 million. Now, who do you think deserves the title of the greatest of all time, Maradona or Pele?